I want to be honest to our listeners and what I see what you see. You know, I don't want to beat guys up individually. So the coach don't want to do that. You don't want to ruin their confidence, but they still need to be challenged. I mean, they still need to say, hey, man, they have to play better. If they're going to have success, they got to get better up front. They need, whether that's coaching or taking it upon yourself as an athlete to say, what can I do to get better? You know, is this a physicality thing? Are they just not good enough physically? I'm asking the question. Or is it a fundamental? Is it a structural? Is it a coaching thing? Right? So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at these kids that have been here. These are Will Muschamp guys, pretty much. Right? These are guys that are in their fourth and fifth year. These are guys that Champ brought in here. As many guys as we've seen that he recruited and that are playing in the NFL right now, we've seen them on the defensive side. But really, we haven't seen a whole lot of the offensive line side. So when you go back and look at that, you go, they got guys that Shane didn't have a chance really or choice to do anything with. These guys have been here. That's what he got to go with. Now, I will say that should have been an area that I think that they should have looked in the portal. Because what I saw last year, a lot of great things, but the offensive line was not one of the good things. And I kind of felt like maybe they should have attacked the transfer portal looking for a couple of offensive linemen that have played some valuable snaps, even if it was from a group of five, that they could have said, hey, this dude could play high-level football, right? We can give him a great opportunity. But now they know what they're doing. So let me just say this to the fans. Shane Beamer knows what he's doing, right? This team, as he said, I heard him say in that first interview you played, we may have lost, but we got a little bit better, right? I can understand that to a degree. And I understand that this team could be a little bit better, but the record may not indicate that so much. It still could be a 7-8 win year for them, right? But they are making progress. The number one area that they have to attack is offensive line. This is, if I'm in an NFL room or college, listen, we got to get better here. We got skill guys. We got some defensive linemen. Two areas. I got to get better at linebacker defensively, and I got to get better at offensive line real quick. If we're going to start making that big leap, let me just throw this to you, Tim. The team that I'm impressed with who has done this is Kentucky. Look at what Kentucky has done because Mark Stoops gets it. What position group are the last 5 years that they've been daggum good at? Offensive line, defensive front, and they get after your butt. Somebody tweeted or posted nasty, mean. I'm talking about dudes that are punch in the mouth, dudes that want to knock you off the ball, an attitude. Kentucky has it. And what has translated? Wins last couple of years. Going down to Florida after a big win over Utah, Kentucky goes and knocked them off. Playing great defense. The big nasties up front getting it done. I mean, so this is, to me, this is what I see in Shane Beamer. But it's going to take 3-4 years. But this is where they got to get better. South Carolina going to always have – this offensive line play is not nowhere close to being good enough right now to have big-time success. You know, I can't sit and go, well, how can I expect them to beat Georgia? If they struggle against Georgia State, they struggle in Arkansas, and we know what, even though Georgia lost 15 dudes and all these dudes in the NFL, we've seen this, what they got. They got 5-star linemen, and they got dudes everywhere. You know, so I don't know, man. It's I believe in the structure. I believe in the process in which Shane Beamer is doing. I wasn't crazy optimistic this year because I've seen for myself. And that was the one area when I went and watched this team practice, I came away saying, this is my biggest concern. And I said that to coaches. I said, this is my biggest concern because I know to win at a high level in the SEC, you got to be good in the trenches. And right now, through a 2-week sample size, not saying they can't get better, but right now, to date, not good enough.
Completely agree with you on that one. Craig says, and we just lost our best linebacker, Mo Kaba. Shane Beamer said afterwards, doesn't look good there. I don't know if Kaba's your best one. I'd probably say Brad Johnson, but he's certainly right up there. So I guess the question then becomes, and Bullish hits us up, says, facts, Pastor. Only the offensive lineman from the Muschamp era I can think of going to the NFL is Dennis Daly. And he came in as a JUCO guy and has gone on. I can't think of many more than that. DG says the offensive line's been a problem so long, it's not a real reason why there can't do the job they're taught to do. If those players were dedicated to getting good, we'd see it out of them with progress. I think that's where it's Jimmy's and Joe's instead of X's and O's. An X's and O's question from Nick: are Marcus Satterfield's run blocking schemes or blocking schemes more complicated than Brian McClendon's? Corey, any insight into that from just a different offensive coordinator? It looks like the question is just making you mad from your body language there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting older and I'm getting wiser. I'll put it to you like this: if I'm the offensive coordinator or the O-line coach, and I'm assessing the talent that I have, I will be more of a zone blocking scheme. If South Carolina is trying to be mano-a-mano, and we're going to be physically better and tougher and we're going to wear you down, that ain't going to happen. I don't see it. But if I got some athletic linemen, and I know they got good footwork and things like that, let's be more of a zone blocking team. That means you block an area, not man. We just run. We run stretch plays, and these guys, we're going to step, and we're blocking an area, and whoever shows up in my area, I take it. And I work body position more so than knocking guys back. We're not an offensive line that's going to just physically dominate that defensive front. So if you're asking me, the schemes, they're kind of similar blocking-wise, but this is what I would do. I would totally be a zone blocking scheme. And I got quick backs. I got backs with great vision, great cutback ability. Let them in the zone scheme. I'm blocking an area, and I got backs with great vision. I'm making their linebackers run. The play looks like I'm headed outside, but boop, I'm cutting it back to the backside A-gap, and I'm getting upfield. That's who they need to be. I mean, because they don't have the talent to do what coach is asking them to do right now. They don't. That's why I said in the passing game, they don't have a lot of time. So I'm either going to get him out on rolls, waggles, boots. I'm going to run more screen plays because I know I'm getting pressure. I'm running quick passing game. And this is why I really say to them, you got to be more of a tempo offense. Most teams that have tempo offenses don't have really great offensive linemen. So they go fast. They play fast. They don't give the defense time enough to set up and figure things out. They get back up at the line of scrimmage. Give me the ball. Boom, ball's out. I'm running some hitches. I'm running tunnel screens. I'm running bubble screens. I'm running some digs. I'm running deep things like this where the ball is out. These are all on the offensive coordinator. This is why I say this. There is a way, but a coach has to understand who they are and who those folks are across from them. Meaning I have to be able to identify my skill set. And I'm crazy if I'm asking them to do something they can't do. It's the worst coaching ever. I'm not saying that for them. I'm saying any coach that tells a player, hey, this is who we are. This is what we're going to run. And they can't do it. Why am I going to ask a cornerback to play a lot of man coverage when I know he can't cover one-on-one? But he might be a heck of a zone guy. So we're going to run more zone. We may run some aggression up front, but play zone behind it defensively. There are ways. Coaching is critical. Yeah, I need Jimmy's and Joe's, but never underestimate coaching. You can have great ability and have bad football teams. The New England Patriots never was the most talented team. Yeah, Tom Brady, he wasn't the most talented quarterback, but it was how they played. And they were set up for success because of the system, right? And this is what I'm saying with South Carolina. And I don't see it, or I haven't seen it through 2 weeks. I see saying this is what I want to do offensively. Y'all just got to figure it out. And that's not good coaching offensively. You got to say, this is who I got. I got great fast skill guys. I got good backs. I got good tight ends. I got a heck of a quarterback. But we can't protect. So let's play fast. Let's play fast. Yeah, I need to run the ball, but I got to run it differently. I got to run some tosses. I got to run in and around. I got to do some things differently and run it while we're playing fast. And so because my offensive line is not giving me the production I need. So that's what I look at with BMAC, same kind of thing. And I just see sometimes these guys are trying to coach like he's at Georgia. BMAC was at Georgia with studs. You know what I mean? These guys come from programs where they had them dudes when you get to South Carolina. Lou Holtz did this for a lot of years too. Like he had trying to run what he wanted to run, but he didn't have the talent. You're not Notre Dame. You don't have big smash mouth linemen that we're just going to be physically tough and just physical you for four. No, you got to say, we can't do it. I want to do that. Maybe we'll get to that. I'll recruit guys that can do that one day. But right now, I got to devise a scheme that takes advantage of whatever ability I got up front.
To that point, Corey, you can't go fast against Arkansas, can you, if you're South Carolina on offense? And the problem that you get your offense in and out on the field, maybe you put up some points, but eventually Arkansas is going to be on the field and just wear that defense out. And I mean, it happened enough, and they didn't even try to go fast.
Yeah, but I get that logic, Tim, but it's like that's the only way they were going to have success. I mean, so it might be one of the things where we're going to have to, I was talking to Kirby Smart. I was at one of the national championship games, and we were talking, and they were talking about Clemson. And Kirby says, great as a coach he is, he goes, you know what? The way the system is now, the way people play fast, and Alabama defense was loaded. And he goes, but we're going to have to give up some yards, but we're going to have to be good in the red zone. We're going to change what we're doing. We're going to have to make them try to keep some field goal, blah, blah. Sometimes you just got to change. And I get it. Arkansas is a running team. We're going to have to stop them. But if we can take advantage of them playing fast, then that's what we got to do just to keep up. We might have to be, you know what? And Kirby understood that our offense is going to have to score points today. And we're going to give up some points. And it's okay for a coach to acknowledge that, hey, I love to stop them, but the way this game is, the way they play fast, we're going to give up some stuff, right? So offensively, that's when coordinators go, hey, you know what, guys, I'm going to need you this week. You might have to score 35. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that, we get that final stop down in the red zone, make them kick a field goal or whatever to win the game. It don't matter. We just want to try to get out of this thing with a win. So I get the logic saying, well, we do that in 3 and outs. But you're probably not going to go 3 and outs because now you're going to get them in the same kind of pickle, right? Because Tennessee doesn't have a great offensive line. But what do? They play fast. Josh Heupel knows, man, let's go. Let's get this. Let's wear this defense down. And then when the hands gets on the hips and they're tired, boom, let's hit them up the middle because the linebackers are lazy now. They ain't got it pop number. Boom, now I'm going to bust up the middle with a 30-yard run. That's why these offenses are like they are today. They play fast. I mean, you can't win the other way. That's why teams back in the day played Alabama fast. They got 11 NFL dudes over there. But what I can do, and then with Johnny Manziel that beat them, Clemson the year with the Sean Watson that beat them, I mean, they played fast and got them dudes tired, and they gave up plays. And I think that's what South Carolina has to do, especially when you got a trigger man. You have a trigger man now. You got the magician over here. So play fast. Put it in his hands. Like you said earlier, we believe in Spencer Rattler. That's why he's here. Put it in his hand. We got some dudes on the outside. Speed. Get them the ball. But I ain't going to get it by just playing pro style. We're just going to run the football up the middle. And that ain't going to work. That's the dumbest thing ever, in my opinion.